It's supposed to be Andrew's reminder.
Welcome to a Wednesday evening edition of Talking Iowa Hawkeye Sports. You can join the show live by hitting the link up there in front of us on the screen, or you can go to the comment section and click the link there. Also, hit the subscribe button. I forgot to look today, but we were 4 or 5 away from hitting that 800 mark. We're getting there. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Can't wait to get there. We gotta get there before football kickoff. So share this out to everybody you know who's a Hawkeye fan, and maybe we'll get a couple of more likes or a couple of more subscriptions. It's free. It doesn't cost you a penny. Also hit the like button though too, because the more likes we get, the more YouTube pushes us out there. I don't know if this is ever going to be monetized. I just learned yesterday that YouTube has doubled their requirements to get monetized. So I don't think we're ever going to get there. Something about 1 million views now, a couple of million views gets you monetized. And I don't think we're ever going to get a couple million views.
Probably not.
No. So anyway, and then, of course, comment and ask questions as you guys always do. You guys are always really good about that. And if you happen to be watching after the live show, you can still comment. We'll just come back later and give you the answers that you want to know. What are you guys doing tonight? Besides, it's Wednesday evening.
Not a whole lot. Just kind of exhausted right now with work, and so
yeah.
I got a game on that I'm not interested in, the Cowboys and the Seahawks. So.
Oh. Is this the official kickoff to the preseason NFL?
It's a preseason game. I don't know if the Cowboys and Seahawks, either one of them have played before or not.
Yeah. I guess 49ers and the Dolphins are going to be playing each other early in the season. I talked to a guy here in Bakersfield this morning, a former Dolphins player, and he was all decked out in Dolphins gear, and he can't wait for the season to start. But, like I said, Bakersfield is full of NFL and ex-NFL players. We're the mecca of NFL players.
Was this guy, famous? Or
No, never even heard of him. He probably was a scout team guy. Okay, let's get started. Kelvin wants to get us started with some news that or some thoughts he wanted to put out there today. And so
they're not thoughts, it's just news to start, get it out of the way. I guess Tavian Banks is, he's down to 4 or 5 schools, Gonzaga, LSU, a couple others. I can't remember who, but, anyway,
nobody in the Big Ten, thank goodness.
Yeah, but LSU is probably going to be the place. Got a lot of money, and they don't have very many guys on the roster. They need people. Iowa's got a new logos going on the field from Progressive Insurance. There'll be 4 of them between the goal line and the 20-yard line on each sideline. That white area. Hopefully,
wait a minute. What happened to Duke Slater Field?
Duke Slater Field's still on a different part, and the John Deere sign is up near midfield.
Okay.
Yeah, these will not be they're not on the actual playing field. They're on the sideline. So anything I'm all in favor of more money. The great last time they had an all-time Hawkeye team, this guy was on it. The great seven-time Pro Bowl guard during the 60s and early 70s for the Dallas Cowboys, who played for Jerry Burns at Iowa. John Nyland passed away. I think he was like 82 or something like that. Thoughts with his family. He was just an unbelievable pro football player. I don't think he's been put in the Hall of Fame yet. So, but it's always possible.
Yeah. I think from that era, you're going to start to see a lot more of these guys' obituaries coming out because, they're all getting about that age now.
Well, yeah. The older you get, the more you die. That's true.
And he's not wrong.
Well, yeah, when you get in your 80s,
Calvin's not wrong.
The chances are way higher than when you're 25. But anyway, and by the way, his nickname with the Dallas Cowboys was John Nightlife Nyland. He didn't like the curfew rules, and he liked to go out for a drink at night. So
you know what? It sounds like he was like in the Joe Namath era in the NFL. So maybe he and Joe tipped a few together.
He was the Paul Hornung of the Dallas Cowboys. Paul Hornung and Max McGee loved to break curfew for the Packers. Good news for Gronk. We kind of mentioned it the other night, but we were having some mute problems. Gronk is back with the Dolphins. The two quarterbacks that were ahead of him, he didn't get to the first preseason game, but the two guys ahead of him, Quinn Ewers was like one of 9, the ex-Ohio State and Texas quarterback, and the other guy, I think his name's Wade Miller or something. He's actually from Solon, Iowa, and he was a great quarterback out at one of them Dakota schools. He was terrible. So, they brought Gronk back, and looks like he'll probably make the team.
Yeah. So, the story, the backstory here on Ewers is that Dolphin guy I talked to this morning. He was so down on Ewers.
Well, if you're 1 for 9, I would be too. I mean, that makes Deacon Hill look great. Could you imagine Deacon Hill going 1 for 9? I mean, no.
Hey, speaking of Deacon Hill, I just realized Helinski wears, or is it Brown wears number 10, the same number as Deacon Hill.
That'd be Hecklinski. I call him Hecklinski. And Drew Stevens have been they cut Keith Moody or whatever Moody, the kicker from Michigan who was with the 49ers and then the Washington Redskins. They cut him, and they announced Drew Stevens has won the starting job for I keep calling them the Washington Redskins, but
the Commanders.
I'm old. They're the Washington Commanders, I guess. And the only other...
And the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, they're the Guardians.
Guardians.
One other real quick bit that was just on an On3 thread was a judge ruled that even if you're in an NFL training camp, you got screwed if you're a 2022 class guy if you didn't get to play 5 years in the NFL, and he ruled that they can come back and play. And Tom Kakert commented that got to watch this on Aaron Graves. So we'll see. The other thing is Ivanka Wilson Maniaka, the number 2 player in the country, who you didn't hear anything about because she is completely silent on recruiting. Her 5 visits are Florida, Maryland, LSU, Michigan, and our Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yep.
Jan Jensen's got the number 2 girl going to visit. Now, she's from Maryland. I don't know if that means anything. LSU's a lot of money. Of course, Iowa's a lot of money nowadays. Yeah. So,
well, the list I saw had Maryland.
I was like shocked.
Yeah, the list I saw had Maryland on there twice on the visit list.
I know, but it meant Michigan. It was a typo. Yeah. It's Michigan.
Yeah.
So
Some of those
That was
editors
like
put
big
stuff
news.
out there without even double checking their stuff.
Well, yeah, that's big news. Yeah, number 2 player in the country. Are you kidding me? And she's a forward that's like 6'2" or 3.
Yeah.
So
I would say right now, all those other programs there might be a cut above Iowa or equal to Iowa. So,
well, yeah, I don't know much about Florida women, but I'm trying to think of a time where I watched Florida women play in the NCAA tournament. I can't remember, but they probably are. I'm not all knowledgeable about all them schools all over the country, but
okay.
Yep, that's it. That's my news.
Right. Okay. Well, we were talking a little bit about, the quarterback situation, and I was the one that said probably early in the show the other night that I just wish people wouldn't have got so excited about one practice and naming Helinski, saying the race is over and everything, naming him our starting quarterback, when today somebody who watched practice actually came out and said that they're both are pretty equal in practice right now. Is that not right? Did I take that correctly in his wording?
Well, it was the famous Brad Heinrichs. I put up on a On3 thread. I asked the question. I says, anybody? Because yesterday somebody on On3 thread said Monday or yesterday, Hecklinski threw 4 interceptions in practice, but nobody else commented. And I thought, oh, does this guy know? And so I said, anybody else attend practice and actually watch it? And our hero, Brad Heinrichs, he replied 3 times. He said, I was at practice today, and he said that Brown and Hecklinski both played really good today. And Brown made a magnificent long throw as he was getting hit to Diaz for a long touchdown pass. And the offense was outshining the defense again, but the defense has a bunch of starters that aren't playing and some second team guys that aren't playing. They just want to make sure they get healthy for the first game. And he said the coaches commented that pretty much that media day game that all of us saw highlights of, that was kind of just totally different from all the other practices, and that it's still a close race, and Tim Lester will make the decision, Brad said, and so that's where it is.
I think, was it Dockerman that said on his podcast that if they roll out their Brown on the starter for the first game, that the fans are going to go nuts?
Well, it's probably true. But Dockerman said the race is over, which the race is never over from one day, but Dean was right.
Yep. Bob Hoffman has a couple of great comments and questions here. Tip for viewers: hit the notification button, and YouTube will let you know when the show airs. I forgot about that. A question: I don't know the exact date of this, but any news on when the Big Ten Network is going to air Iowa training camp? All I know is it's the very last one to air.
It's Monday.
Got it.
We'll remind people more on Sunday night. Watch. Somebody said, I thought it'd be on like at noonish or something, but Chad Listigo claimed it was like at 4:00 Central or 5:00 Central time.
It's later in the day when they do the training camp because it's part of their Big Ten live show, I think.
I'll make sure I'll record it so I can watch it.
They'll repeat it over and over again. Oh, but it's Iowa and it's the last one, so maybe not. But I think I've seen the Minnesota one like 4 times in 2 days.
Yeah, it was just on yesterday, right, or something.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I have not watched them all, but is those two ladies just the only two ladies doing that?
No. They're only the West Coast.
They're on the West Coast, yeah, because they're
So they decided not to load up the bus and travel everywhere. Now they're just flying.
Yeah.
Certain people are flying into certain schools or something.
Yeah. They're taking advantage of their West Coast experts that they have to have on for fairness.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, just let them do the preview out there. They'll do fine, probably. I don't know.
I don't know. I was at UCLA or USC or Oregon, Washington. I can't remember which one I watched.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing it, but I wasn't impressed with them at all. You know, I'd rather have the guys that have been doing this for years because they feel comfortable. They know what to do.
I'd rather have Caitlin and Sophie Cunningham do it, but
You know.
That's a touchdown right there. I'll tell you that.
that was a joke. But
I know, but I mean, I might have to agree with you there, buddy.
I think Caitlin is so talented, and Sophie's a good talker too. They could do anything, you know.
Can't count out Lexi Hall. You know, Lexi can do it too.
They don't use Lexi Hall as much as they used to.
They don't.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know. They've only lost like one game in the last million that they've played. I don't know what the record is, but they've got 24 wins now. And last I heard, they were in fourth place. I don't know if they jumped up a notch. If they,
they're fourth place, a half a game ahead of Las Vegas. But bad news, Las Vegas doesn't have I just got done looking at the schedule. They don't have a tough game the rest of the year. There's like 8 games left. And the Fever have like 6 very tough games.
They have the Dream, I think, tomorrow night again.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know they play the Valkyries twice, I think. The Lynx. The last 2 games of the season are the Lynx. Well, those are the top 2 teams.
Mm-hmm.
How many regular season games left?
I think about 8.
Yeah, not too many left.
Yeah. So the Fever will not finish in the top 4, I don't think. So.
Well, that's too bad. All righty. Well, as long as we're talking about the Fever, you wanted to talk about Caitlin Clark. Was there anything you wanted to bring up specifically?
Oh yeah, I was going to put that in the news and I forgot. Just that she was Player of the Week again. You know, she's averaged 26 points, 9 assists, and 4 rebounds. Yeah, and 4 rebounds, and she's shooting over 40% and from 3 and over 50% from the field in that last 12 games or so.
Yeah. You know what? If her teammates could handle the ball and the passes that she gets, she might be a runaway for MVP, but I don't know that she'll get the MVP. You got Asia Wilson, Paige Beckers, and I don't remember who else they put up all as candidates for MVP of the year.
Well, her teammate, even Kelsey and
Kelsey,
Olivia Miles. And so.
Fever take on Dallas tomorrow night at 7.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yep. So
okay, so that is not the Dream.
Nope.
We're playing Paige Beckers again, and I believe it's our last loss. I believe we lost to Paige Beckers in Dallas before. The last time we played.
I think the last loss we had was that game we gave away to the Las Vegas Aces.
It was the Aces, I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That game where Asia Wilson fouled Caitlin at the end of the game and grabbed the ball and threw it down, and they made a 3-pointer.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. Shall we move on to? I know that we want to kind of like start looking at the different position groups and stuff for the team, for the football team, and a little bit of Kids Day stuff. And I know that I've got right here, you wanted the records of everything in the groups, those position group pictures that you sent me today.
Yeah, but do you have that cumulative poll that we did where I did the math and came out with I just got done sending it to you a second time on Messenger just before I came on. You know, our.
I thought
our,
I had it. I'm looking.
I
I'm
know
looking.
you-
I'm looking.
You all you gotta do is look in Dean on your personal messenger. Not talking Hawkeyes, but Dean.
Yeah, no. It'd be too late to send it now, but I can't believe I did that because I did know you wanted it.
That's insane though. That
Yeah,
everybody's
we were gonna unveil our official poll after Jason and Kyle and Paul
Mhm.
were on that night. We were gonna unveil it Sunday, and we never got around to it.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm sure I sent it to myself.
Well, I sent it to you.
very, very interesting that everybody's picks are like very similar to what Kelvin sent me. I was like, holy crap. I guess my picks are like partially close or almost not right on, but
Yeah.
very similar.
There was only one guy that had Iowa below 5th, and that was our host.
Wonder who that is. Interesting.
Our hero.
Well, okay, let's.
Our hero.
I left it on my Yahoo, and I can't bring it over now.
Oh,
I forgot to bring that one over.
Resend it again.
I
can't do it in the middle of the show.
You said it? Calvin said to me, was it today or yesterday? One of the days you sent it to me.
Yeah.
Today I sent it to you because you go.
Oh, yeah.
You go. I wanna redo my picks, and I go. And I laid down the law. I said, no, you are not, because that's a lot of math. That's a lot of math to do.
Well,
I can't believe I messed that up. Okay.
Shit, I looked at mine and I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to redo mine when I go on the Hawkaholics on Tuesday night. And I'm going, oh crap.
I watched you last night for over an hour.
You were on it last night?
Yep. Brad invited me, and I'm on for a while with those guys, and then also got invited to the Ohio State game, and we're gonna do the live stream from Kinnick.
Cool. Yeah. They don't want me in. See, I think I figured out they don't want me anymore. They got you, which is better.
Dean, you're just dreaming things up. But Tavon Smith was on too.
That was awesome.
I asked Tavon a couple questions.
Now that's what bothers me is they promised I could be on that show when he was a guest.
Don't be bothered, Dean.
Oh, I am bothered because they told me I could be on and they didn't invite me on.
It was neat, kind of under knowing his background and yeah, that was awesome.
I asked a couple questions to Tavon, but they didn't ask. They posted them, but they never asked him.
Yeah, Brad does it. I'm all
Yeah.
Well,
one thing Brad and Brandon don't do is they don't read all their comments, but they will post the more interesting ones. But they won't even acknowledge it otherwise.
Tavon read one of them because he goes, I ran a 10-9 100 meter, which ain't that fast. And I thought, that's pretty fast.
That's pretty
and then
fast.
He said he ran a 4.340, and that is like flying. When's the last time Iowa's had a player run a 4.340 in the NFL Combine? I don't know when that was. And anyway, he goes, I'm not as fast as Coop in the 100 meters. I don't know how fast he was. So I knew how fast Coop was. And I go, he ran a 10.71 100 meters in high school. And Tavon, he read it.
He actually didn't read it. And he laughed at it, too.
He goes, that is fast.
What is fast? Yeah, that's what he said. Oh, it was funnier and all get out. Oh.
But
alrighty. Okay, I'm going to read these. You called it the FTW 5 Amigo preseason Big Ten poll.
Yeah, FTW can stand for the win or some other F word thing.
Okay. Alrighty, I will read this. Our poll has Ohio State first with 6 points. I imagine you just added up the place points for each.
I added up the place points, and then I used it like a golf score where the lowest score was the best. And so obviously Ohio State's average placing was 1.2. 5 times 1.2 is 6. So
yeah. So Oregon was second with 11 points. Indiana third with 12 points.
That was close.
Iowa fourth with 26 points. So my lower ranking didn't hurt them because I didn't cost them that many points that they would have got ahead of Indiana.
No. No. But you almost got them in the fifth.
Yeah. Penn State's in fifth with 28 points. At a sixth place tie, we have USC and Michigan with 30 points. I think we might be the only poll out there for Big Ten that doesn't have any respect for Michigan being higher.
I don't know.
You know, I think USC is pretty much about there in everybody's poll. Eighth place is Washington with 39 points. Ninth place is Illinois with 40 points. By the way, Illinois beat us on a long touchdown run in the Mark Rogers football assimilation.
Yeah.
We were ranked like 16th in that game.
Yeah, the simulations last year, the early ones that come out, you know, they had Iowa going like 4-8 last year. Yeah. And then during the season for each game, like Jason would put one up or something, and I'd watch it, you know, and our record got better as we went. But obviously we didn't go 4-8. So,
well, wait a minute, though. I don't know if Jason's watching tonight or listening, but he would play it 3 or 4 times until he got the results he wanted. Then he'd post that one.
Then I'd say to Jason, I go, you didn't, that's not the Iowa offense. And he goes, oh, I used my air raid. You know, like, okay.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
All right,
okay.
Whatever.
All right. Minnesota comes in at 10th place with 52. Wisconsin in 11th place at 57. Nebraska at 12th place at 59. UCLA was 63. Then Michigan State was 69. Rutgers is 76. 16th tie with Maryland and Northwestern for 78. And I think the consensus is that Purdue is last place with 87 points. You know what? This is fun and all well making up these preseason things because we're basing it more on the past history. But you know what? Who knows? We might be changing our game plan when it comes at the beginning of the season after we see everybody play a couple of games to see what they're really like.
The first poll I was involved with was Signetti's first year, and all of us put Indiana last.
Yes.
And they won the Big Ten, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, they won Big Ten. They won the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, then the whole thing, but
then
won
the next year, the second year, we said that they lost everybody and everything, and so they can't finish any better than 5th. All they did was go undefeated and win a natty.
And still be the second worst football team, record-wise, all-time record-wise.
I
bet by the time Sinetti leaves, that won't be the case.
No, depends on how long he lives. You know, maybe he'll be like Kirk. Well, even if he's like Kirk, he won't coach many more years. But if like Bill Snyder come back and coach till he's 78 or something, But
Bill Snyder should have never did that. He ruined his legacy by doing that.
Well, he won when he came back. But.
Did he? I didn't think he won.
Yeah, he retired and he wanted his boy to be named coach, and they wouldn't do that. They hired somebody else. And then the program just went in the dumpster. They'd win 3 games a year. And so he said, well, I'll come out of retirement and come back and coach. And, then he averaged like 8 wins a season for 3 or 4 years. And then he retired again.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, let's get on. Let's talk about the position groups now. Okay. We kind of talked a little bit about the quarterback situation, but I'm going to bring up the quarterback stats anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. And these are the quarterback stats. Oh,
you read them all to us. Read them all to us, will you, Dean? Because we can't see them.
Okay. Yeah, I can't see them either. I'll have to get them off my phone.
Is that the quarterbacks or something?
No, that's the wide receivers there, Dean. You got the wrong one up there.
Okay, let me do this. All righty, quarterbacks. All righty, I think no surprise. All righty, quarterbacks. Okay, Helinski was 17 of 25. We did read these off the other night for 68%, 210 yards, 5 TDs, and 0 interceptions. I did want to point out, when was the last time an Iowa quarterback threw for 210 yards? Granted, this wasn't a real game, but
probably never.
Okay. Hank Brown was 40% at 8 of 22 and 44 yards, 0 TDs, 0 interceptions. So in that thing today, that last thing you put out said something about only one of Brown's touchdowns came against the first team defense.
You mean,
or was that Helinski he was saying?
That was Heck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I rewatched him, and it was like, really poor defense, having some backup safety, and Vitti was in twice, and instead of taking the wider Vanami going deep, he came forward and made the linebackers cover him all the way downfield, which Phil Parker defense is not like that, So,
yeah. Well, that's another thing on these simulations. This is not even Iowa's offense that we're looking at.
Well, we were what? Yeah, well, this wasn't a simulation. This was media day. So
yeah, I know it.
Kids Day.
Alrighty, okay. Jimmy Sullivan, who could possibly be making a push for number 2 quarterback, 10 of 15, 67%, and 129 yards, 2 DDs, 0 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, none of the quarterbacks had interceptions. Maybe Phil told them not to pick them off. Okay. Fitzgerald, Little Fitz, 3 of 7 for 42%. Mm-hmm. Even he had a better day, 16 yards, 1 TD than Hank. Mm-hmm. And Bessinger was 3 of 7 for 43%, 20 yards, 0 TDs, and things. So out of all the quarterbacks, Hank Brown performed the worst.
Yeah, and Bessinger got screwed because he targeted Brody Schaefer twice, mm-hmm. and Brody Schaefer, that one completion was to Brody Schaefer for 20 yards, and then he had Brody Schaefer for a 43-yard touchdown, and Brody dropped the ball. So he could have had 63 yards there instead of 20 and another completion for a touchdown. So,
gosh, I don't know if nobody called me out, so maybe nobody can read this. Instead of having the quarterback up, I had the wide receiver up the whole time.
I said that, Dean. I said you had the wide receivers up instead of the.
Yeah, I said that too. But
yeah, you did? Yeah, we both did. Yeah.
Well, we can jump to the wide receivers now.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Who knows what's going on every day in practice? People say Jimmy Sullivan could be competing for number 2 now. Well, he could be. For all we know, in another week, he could be competing for number 1.
Oh well,
it's possible.
Yeah.
If some quarterback throws 4 interceptions in a day, that ain't good. So,
all right. So we got the wide receivers up now.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't touched on the running backs.
Oh,
well, we will.
Okay.
We got a picture for each one. The thing I can't understand is every podcast I tune into, when they talk about we're talking about the media day, and we talk about wide receivers, every dumb guy brings up Diaz. Well, Diaz wasn't that good in the media day kids gay game. Why are they bringing up Diaz as a star in the kids day practice? He was. Anyway.
Okay, let me go through it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Vander Zee had 3 receptions, 57 yards, 19 per average, 1 TD. He had 4 targets.
Mm-hmm.
Diaz, 3 receptions for 28 yards, 9.3 yards average, and 6 targets. So he caught 50% of his passes.
Not good.
Not good.
But Petrus overthrew him a couple times.
Yeah. Vander Zee caught 75% of his passes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Evan James.
There you go.
Two receptions, 27 yards, 13.5 average, 2 DDs, 5 targets. Now, he also, out of 5 targets, he missed 3.
Mm-hmm. But again, bad
pass.
Having
not watched anything, I don't know whose fault that would be.
I always say it's Petras, but Hank Brown threw the ball like Petras on Kids Day. You know, it's like he had Ostrenga a couple times open and threw the ball in like almost into the stands. That's why I said it's because of bad passes.
Okay.
Some of these guys. But.
All right. Dayton Howard had 1 target, no yards.
Mm-hmm.
KJ Parker, 5 receptions for 21 yards, 4.2 average, 5 targets. So he caught everything thrown to him. However, I'm going to guess that he didn't get any yards after catch, which is what Tim Lester said in a podcast. He's pushing these guys to get yards after catch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jared Bowie, 3 receptions, 60 yards, 20-yard average, 6 targets, so he caught half of his passes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Isaiah Oliver, 3 receptions, 58 yards, 19 average, 1
Very
TD, 6 targets. So he also caught half of his passes. Brody Schaefer, I know everybody's excited about this young man. 1 reception for 20 yards.
He targeted twice, probably.
Yeah, 2 targets, yep, and 1 TD.
He dropped a 43-yard touchdown, wide open. Oh my God!
Oh wow. Okay.
But
That's not gonna help his cause to get on the field this year.
But the degree of separation he on both them pass plays, Tyler Barnes and Budmeyer said that he's just like Cooper DeJean. He is. He's that athletic. So yeah, it was very impressive watching him just dropping that easy catch. Maybe it was too easy, you know. So
do we see him as a return specialist? Maybe
that's right. That was my next question.
Maybe, but I think by the way he's flashing, he's only been at school. He was a great baseball player, so he wanted to play baseball and run track up in Wisconsin, and he didn't come to school until June 5th. And the way he's flashing already, I wouldn't be surprised that special situations they put him in at wide receiver. You know?
Yeah. Now since they don't have to worry about redshirting anymore.
No. So
okay. Xavier Stinson, 1 reception, 11 yards, 1 target, and Jackson Nave, 1 reception, 3 yards, 3 targets. That's it on the wide receiver. Okay. As long as we're doing wide receivers, let's just jump next to the tight ends. Well, I don't know. I'm having a hard time. It's all these are saying that they're up there already. Do I have tight ends up there or running or?
So wide receivers are still up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how your technology works, but I don't. It's like, but anyway, we know DJ Vanami had a great game. Out of them 200 yards,
I'm going to take that off of there.
Yeah.
Let's
200 yards, did Vanami have 100 of them or something? I don't know.
Something like that. Man, he's just fun to watch. And not only that, he's also an All-American freshman.
Yeah.
Tight end.
As a walk-on.
Exactly. It just,
all right, I screwed up so bad, guys.
It's mind-boggling.
I do not have the running backs or the kickers on here.
Yeah, I remember
mislabeled some stuff. Yeah. Everything's the wide receiver.
Huh. But anyway, Vanami, you know, I'm positive this is his last year at Iowa. He'll be top 15, 20 pick in the draft next year because he has improved his speed. Last year he ran like Sam Laporta or something, and this year he's running like Kittle or Dallas Clark or Noah Fant, that type of speed. And he's improved his blocking a lot. And there's no way any parent could tell that kid, oh yeah, come back to Iowa again next year for $1 million. When that's nothing in the NFL. And he could come, if he came back for $1 million, Coach Ferentz would just feel terrible if that kid ripped a knee up so bad that it affected his career. Like, Lachey got hurt and that affected his career. Who knows if Estringa, his NFL career might be effective.
Yeah, Lachey, when he got hurt, was headed to the NFL, but he had to stay another year and play on a rehab knee. Right? It was a knee, right?
Ankle. The ankle still has got him cut from 2 football teams in the NFL because it just keeps swelling up and bothering him whenever he plays.
Yeah.
But
that's too bad.
It sucks, yeah, because he was a hell of a tight end.
Yeah.
Maybe the Iowa staff, training staff, rushed him back too much. Maybe he needed more time rehabbing that thing.
My brother broke his ankle when he was like 40 playing volleyball, and breaking a joint is way worse than spraining it because that joint usually is not gonna. You can put screws in it and everything, and if it's broke just right, it ain't gonna heal up back to normal.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
Well,
let's go through the stats on tight ends.
Oh, you got it?
No, I got them on my phone.
Oh, good. Let's go then.
Okay, tight ends. Vanami, 4 receptions, 70 yards, 17.5 per catch, and 2 TDs. That sounds like a guy we're going to get a lot of targets this year. Addison Estringa, he had 2 targets but no catches. Maybe he's a little rusty.
My thing with Estringa is that he could, just be an extra but blocking. And so it gives Vanami, space to work. So I can see Estringa coming out and maybe blocking a lot for Vanami, but we'll see.
I agree that I foresee, and the A&F guys had a pod today, and they talked about how they will use the tight ends this year. When they use 3 tight ends, it'll be Estringa in the power tight end spot. It'll be Vanami out in the slot as a hybrid tight end, and it'll be Thomas Myers as that Hayden Large big guy blocking tight end that can all. Of course, Thomas Myers can run and catch too, so it'll be even more. And then Mason Woods will be that other slot tight end, and in case you need another one at some point. But
let me read the rest of the tight ends. Zach Ortworth, 2 receptions, 13 yards,
man.
3 targets. Dylan Stecker, 5 receptions for 16 yards, 3.2 per catch, and 6 targets. So he's had a decent day, but again, he obviously didn't get yards after catch.
This is his first year at tight end. He's a walk-on. He's a wide receiver that I think he's up to 220 some pounds now, but he might be the next Vanami, a walk-on that turns into something really big.
Okay. Thomas Meyer had 2 receptions, 2 targets, 16 yards, 8 average. Luke Brewer, 1 reception, 5 yards, 1 target. Michael Burt, 1 target, 0 reception. And that's all we have for tight ends. Mason Woods obviously didn't catch a pass or a target.
He didn't dress, so.
Okay, that explains it.
He was one of them 18 guys or whatever it was that didn't practice kids today because of being bunged up a little bit. So.
All right, running backs. Okay. People are liking Phillips, but they're saying that Moulton is probably still the guy.
Mhm.
Moulton 5 carries, 24 yards, 4.8 average, and he had 2 catches for 6 yards and 3 targets. LJ Phillips from South Dakota, 8 carries for 57 yards, 7.1. Well, they have yards per catch. Ha! That ain't right. Okay.
Yards per carry.
Oh, yards per carry. Okay.
Yeah.
Xavier Williams. Wasn't the guy we just lost? It wasn't his name Xavier Williams too?
No.
What was his name?
We lost 2 of them. We lost Patterson and
Jazz Patterson and
the kid from, was it TJ Williams?
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
From Texas.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Both
Xavier Williams
real
had
good
5
kids.
carries for 25 yards, 5 average.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan McDeal, 6 carries, 31 yards, 5.2 per carry. 3 receptions for catches and 10 yards and 3 targets. So not bad. He caught all 3 of his passes.
Mm-hmm.
Braden Jackson was 4 carries, 11 yards, 2.8 per catch. Carry, I mean. Devin Browl, 2 carries, 18 yards.
He's gonna keep doing it.
9 per carry. You guys
he caught himself.
And then Brad Heinrichs today on there, he said he likes Brevendal returning kickoffs. He's
better than Parker, he said.
Well, and then he said he reminds you a little bit with his speed of the guy we had last year. With that would be
He called him a little guy. The little guy we had last year is what he said.
Yeah, and he's a lot bigger than Wet Jet. He's like 6'1" and weighs like 218 pounds. So,
yeah, but because he's bigger, he might be an easier target to get on the ground.
Yeah, but he's way fast.
Wet Jet was so little guy, he just slide through people, and people go, "Where'd he go? Oh, he's in the end zone for a touchdown."
He's way faster than Wet Jet. So
okay, good.
Yeah.
All righty, and finally we have Olante Dean, 3 carries, 4 yards, 1.3 yardage. I think LJ Phillips might be the most impressive, 7 yards a carry. In my opinion, the others that had at least 5 yards minimum per carry is good. Dahl had 9 yards per carry. But Olante Dean probably won't see the field this year with 1.3 per carry. And there's a couple guys, including Moulton, with 4 yards per carry.
No.
So
again, Phillips fumbled at practice again today, so that's been his thing that they don't like the most is, and it's so weird because he didn't fumble hardly at all in his career where he played before, but
yeah,
he's been laying it on the ground too much at Iowa.
Yeah. Boy says, yeah, don't forget Ortwert. Got a good mitt too. Okay. Well, finally the kickers. Eli Ozick from North Dakota State. I think a lot of people, haven't they already in their mind named him our kicker?
It looks like a competition to me.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, 8 of 12. He was good from 42, 45, 26, 46, 46, 42, 26, and 41. He missed 42, 57, 42, 42. All right. Caden Burr, 7 of 11. He was good from 42, 42, 42, 45, 33, 42, 26, missed 45, 45, 41, and 41. Neither one of them had a great day kicking, if you want to get right down to it.
Well, we do know that Caden Burr there on 2 consecutive kicks had bad snaps from the true freshman snapper McLaughlin, number 54. So the coaches take that all. The coaches take all that into consideration, in their
So
stats.
Is he our long snapper then? Our new snapper?
Yeah, he's one of them. He's the new one. We still got Ike Speltz from last year, who never snapped in games. We had Worrell, a senior last year, doing the snapping, and Ike Speltz is be a third-year guy, and both of these guys snap for punts and kicks. So one of them's going to win the job. Don't know who.
This is crazy. I put some other stuff up here too that I wanted to share tonight, and not here. Dude, I mean, this is all messed up.
Oh, well,
okay.
We'll carry on. So those are the end of our stats, or did you have anything?
No, that's the end of our stats that you wanted to go over.
Yeah, people were, all the pundits I heard that was at the game thought our punting was okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing that nobody's talked about, the punting.
Probably because it was okay. Not great. Nobody's averaging 50 yards a punt, but you don't have to have 50 yards a punt, and then nobody screwing up. So what are you going to talk about? They average 43 yards a punt, which I'll take that, or 42, whatever.
All right. Is there anything from Media Day that stuck out in your mind from any of the interviews, coaches or players that you want to bring up, either one of you?
I got stuff, but I'm waiting to give Kyle a chance,
Yeah.
Nah, I'm all ears. I'm just taking it all in. So, Calvin, lead the way.
Like I told Dean, I talked to 5 different people that were at the spring practice, and then information you gather, and the position groups we just covered. I kind of covered most of what they said. Evan James never drops a pass, was one of their comments. But the offensive line, we pretty much know who's starting now. Trevor Lauk was just unbelievable. Maybe the best pass blocking left tackle we've ever had, and that's saying a lot. He didn't give up a sack. He didn't give up a sack last year as a redshirt sophomore. Was he a redshirt sophomore last year?
I think
so. Yeah.
You're gonna make me want to look on the roster.
He's the same age as Lutmer. He's got 2 years left, but this is probably his last year. Just unbelievable when you can make that Epinesa kid not have hardly any stats except a knockdown. Except a couple knockdown passes or something.
Right.
And then the kid that came in and backed him up, who's in his he'd be a sophomore, is Brody McCaslin. He's a big kid, and he looked really good. It was like, holy shit, I've never seen you before. He was injured last year. And then at left guard's Leighton Jones, who's really, really, really good. And his backup looks like it's going to be Wilson. And they named, on Sunday, they named Winters the starting center.
What about
not because
Pieper?
Not because he's better than Pieper at center, but they have a better offensive line with Winters starting because he's really good at center.
Right.
And Pieper is really good at guard. And that line with Winters starting at center and Pieper at guard, they wanted to use Pieper at center because they want him to
so they just flip-flop. Yeah.
help. They wanted to help him in his NFL career. And he is a better center than Winters. But the offensive line is way better with Piepers at right guard because he is like having John Hanna at guard or something. And so that's what they're going to do. And then they have Mislinski as official backup for Winters, and they have Algier as official backup for Pieper. Even though them guys can play all over, Algier can play tackle, which he might do next year, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then at right tackle, of course, is Doutzler, who's a big guy that is very good. And his backup is probably Leonard, the guy that's 6'9", 318 pounds. They'd like to get him up to 340 because when you're 6'9", you know, that ain't no big deal to be 318. You know,
Right.
We got guys that are 6'2" that weigh 300 pounds. So.
And they're light on their feet too.
But they're just very
Stout.
The offensive line is so good. And then the
Solid.
backups are so good.
Solid.
You know, they're just Kirk and them, they ain't gonna say they're thrilled because they're a work in progress, but
right.
Our offensive line will probably be at least equal to last year's offensive line. So,
wow, that's saying a lot.
yeah. And last year's offensive line was slightly better than the one before, you know.
Slightly better.
Like,
which was 90% of the same guys from the year before.
Well, no, we lost three. Didn't we lose 3 guys to the NFL or something? Yeah,
3 guys.
Richmond, Colby, Peeper's better than Colby. He's Peeper stays low when he's blocking and is very fast. And Richmond, Colby, and Ellsbury, we lost all them 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, but it was miraculous to be that good. Other stuff from the guys I talked to was how great, even though Epinesa was running into Lauk all the time, they go, when he ain't around Lauk during the regular season, he's gonna be pretty dominant. It's like you can be a pretty good lineman, but if you're being blocked by Tristan Wirfs every day,
yeah, exactly.
Good luck. And then Drew Campbell was just awesome, and so was Hawthorne. Them guys were collapsing the pocket against Heck, but Heck just got rid of the ball so fast. You know, that's his thing. He's got that quick Dan Marino release that's the biggest thing really in
quick release.
Cutting down on sacks is a quick smart decision and a quick release.
Yep.
You know, I'm not as worried about the defensive line as I was.
Defense will come to itself.
I'm more I can understand why they're playing Lutmer at safety because I'm more worried. I'm like Phil, I'm more worried about that back line, the safeties, than everybody can be all joyful about Hawkins playing at 6'3" and Tyler Brown, who we didn't see. Maybe our safeties will be a lot better when Tyler Brown's back.
Yeah. But, what about our linebackers? We're pretty deep at linebacker.
Yeah, but when they took Lutmer out of practice, touchdown, and you think Phil's happy with that? Oh, Monday he ripped them a big rear end.
And you know this for a fact?
Oh, that's what they said on the Swarm Lounge. You know.
Yeah, but who was? Besides Brad Hendricks,
no, it wasn't Brad.
Besides that, who else has access to practice?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, the people that you're talking to.
None of my friends were at practice on Monday. But
what about the on 3 guys that kept telling you, oh, hey,
I don't know who they are. I don't know who they are. They got these code names because when I go on there, I just put Calvin Fisher. But everybody has to hide behind a name.
Yeah, my real name's up there.
Yeah, but anyway, that Phil ripped them. Holy cow!
For sure.
Maybe he 100%. Sabotaged his own secondary so he could rip them. I don't know, but
it's like our core. Like I agree with Kelvin. I'm worried about our safeties, and we got a shit ton of corners, but we're safeties. We need.
And the guys I talked to were very impressed with Rashad Godfrey. they like the Hawkins kid too. Said he could be quicker. He's a big guy, 6'3", as a defensive back. But they really like the Godfrey kid. And anyway, but again, Heinrich said that the quarterbacks kind of ripped up the secondary again today. So anyway,
maybe we aren't that good.
Offense, maybe we got Jerry Rice at wide receiver and Kittle at tight end. Maybe we're just a juggernaut on offense. I hope so. That's what we've been dreaming about for years. So.
It'd be nice to be able to have to outscore teams for a change.
Yeah, our linebackers weren't going to show much on Kids Day because it seemed like Iowa threw the ball 75% of the time. That ain't your linebackers aren't going to stand out there.
Well, Seth Wallace. That. Yeah, Seth Wallace said in his interview he's got about 6 or so guys that could be playing linebacker right now.
We got a comment?
Boy says, believe we lost Mr. Nick DeJong too. DeJong. I'm probably saying that wrong.
Nick DeJong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another walk-on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but see, they're going to be fewer and fewer walk-ons at Iowa that make it because we don't have to keep our numbers low now.
That is true.
Yeah. So anyway, where are we at, guys? Where do you want to go next?
I don't know, any place you want to go, Kyle?
I'm just along for the ride, guys.
Yeah. I do want to point out that Ellie Stromdahl, the women's basketball player, has finally made it to campus.
Yep.
Yeah, the picture of her and Jan standing there, and she's as tall as Jan, and Jan's pretty tall.
Yep, and she's kind of one of them European positionalist players, that's a tall wing. So, anyway.
Yeah, maybe we'll get something from her this year. I don't know. With 11 players, I think a lot of girls are going to play a lot of minutes. Probably. I mean, at least early in the season.
Yeah, I know we got a really, really good team, 8 players or whatever. I'm just worried about injuries and foul trouble, because could be a huge problem.
Right.
Yeah. I wish it could have found a way to bring Hannah Stolke back to the team this year, but she's headed for Italy.
Oh, my only women's basketball hint I've gotten lately privately is that Nation Williams might want to play with what's the name of the number 1 recruit, the point guard Smith from California?
Oh, they want to play together on the same team?
Yeah.
Well, that don't bode well for us.
And Smith ain't visiting Iowa, so I think that would point towards both of them being at UCLA, but what do I know? So
yeah, that's
just a guess.
UCLA could be the new juggernaut, from the West Coast, the South Carolinas and the LSU and who else on the area of this country are pretty hot.
South Texas, South Carolina, LSU,
UConn.
Yeah, UConn was the one I was trying to think of.
Kentucky.
And USC has just been loading up on young talent, and they got Juju coming back.
I think Juju might have a really good year.
Well, she's never had a bad one.
No,
she had to play on one leg. So.
Right? Yeah, she's due to have a really good year.
Yeah,
very well respected.
She had a good year. She had a good year her freshman year.
Yeah,
just fun to watch. So fun to watch. Respected, very respected young lady that can play.
It's going to be interesting to watch those UCLA USC matchups because they're going to go after each other hard. They might be the top right now in my mind. They might be the top 2 teams in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I sent Dean a thing. I don't know, a while back. It was like the top prep girls in the Midwest area. Took in Ohio and and Kansas and all the way out to Colorado and back up Minnesota and around that big old circle. And the number 30 player in there was from Des Moines, and her name was McCann, a guard. Do you remember? I wonder if she's a daughter of that McCann that played women's basketball for Iowa. Do you remember, Dean, maybe like 20 years ago, that McCann that played for Iowa, maybe something like that? And of course,
no, but I know who would know.
Well, yeah.
Be Molly.
I know, but would she know that she has a girl that this McCann's a lot younger than Molly?
Yeah, that's true.
She played for Lisa Bluter. But then of course, Kirk Ferentz had a quarterback named McCann.
Mm-hmm.
A very good quarterback.
But I was thinking, though, that you were talking about this girl being last name McCann. Could she be the daughter of the women's player who was named McCann? But that woman would probably be married with a different name, and her daughter would have a different last name.
Maybe, maybe not.
Not always. You're right. You're not always.
Sometimes a gal has a baby unexpectedly, but anyway, or has a child and the father don't care about the child.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's just all hyperbolic bullcrap, But I bet that girl, being a really good girls basketball player in Iowa, and I bet, was their mother Becca McCann or something like that? I don't know, but
does anybody know? Does anybody know?
Because you said 20 years ago.
I looked on the recruiting services, but they don't go on there. They just list her size, 5'9" point guard or whatever, and they don't say, yeah, her mother played at Iowa or anything. So, but I'll bet you.
I'm kind of looking for that list that you sent me, but I can't find it now. It must be buried pretty deep.
Yeah.
I'm all the way back to the Don Nelson news.
D needs to start printing stuff off with your printer.
No.
My printer don't work.
Yeah.
Go get a new one.
No, you want to pay for it?
How many people use a printer anymore? It's like
me.
I'm still old school.
If I got to print out something, I go to my bank or something and I say, "Here, I'm emailing you what I need printed." They print it up.
Right.
Run out of ink so fast.
I know it.
Yeah, I do.
But the last couple of years shows, I ran off everything I wanted. I mean, I didn't have time to write it down or look it up, so I had it all right in front of me. Right. And now this year, I can't get it to do that. My wife and I had to even borrow my daughter's printer in order to get some stuff printed that we needed.
We got a new printer before we got married, so that's pretty nice to have for basketball and season. So
yeah,
but I'm gonna be excited to see Willitsko. If
don't put too much pressure on her. We're all excited for Addie Deal too, and she was a bust.
But I think it's different with Willitsko and how she can fit into this Iowa offense.
Exactly.
That's gonna be loaded.
Yeah.
And seeing Journey becoming a point guard, which is her natural position, it's gonna be awesome.
Coach Hack, would you please put that on our comments? Okay, he's weighed in. Sadie McCann is Kyle McCann's daughter out of Walker.
Waukee.
I'm sure he meant Waukee, but I just went.
Waukee, yep.
Walker, Iowa is a little town up here between Cedar Rapids, area, but it's Waukee.
Okay, yeah. Also, you sent me the Jimmy Rogers. I didn't have a chance to watch that press conference. What was your thoughts on that?
And pretty much, I don't know any of the players he's talking about.
Does anybody?
He said last year at Washington State he had 72 brand new players because when a coach leaves, the players all leave. And he said this year he has 82 out of 85.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're not good.
Right.
That just means that it's like,
oh man,
I keep saying every week that, we don't know if they're any good.
We don't.
No,
we do not. That's what I'm saying.
I didn't really learn much. He just said he tried to keep the same culture, that Matt Campbell had good culture at Iowa State. He wanted to keep that. But he said, of course, you got a different guy at the head. He said, I may bring that culture with a little bit different wording than Matt Campbell would naturally.
You mean like the wording he used at that basketball game against Iowa? Did anybody bring that up to him at all? Anybody ask him about it?
I listened to it's only 20-some minutes long, but I had listened to 4 hours of podcast and stuff today. So I listened to about 2/3 of it, and I thought, I ain't learning nothing, and it's like all these 3 pre-conference games,
Yeah. We're our regulars tonight. Only Boy is on here tonight, and Bob Hoffman hasn't commented for a while. Where are our regulars? Corey said he'd be watching for sure.
I was hoping Corey would be back.
Mm-hmm.
Quickly look. Somebody look and see if Corey Brada's on right now. Maybe that's the reason why nobody's here.
No, he was on last night.
Was he?
I didn't really see much that was on last night. Kyle and Brandon and Brad were on with Savon. I watched that, and then turned on Corey, and they say they're going to talk about the breakdown of the Iowa, what we learned about Iowa, and then for the first 20 minutes they talked about crap I don't know, remember what they talked, but stuff that wasn't even about sports,
Well, there's a lot of shows that do that. A lot of shows start out with just nonsensical talk to begin with before they get right into it, Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we get right into it.
Yeah, and, I just figured if I kept watching, which I'd already watched over an hour of podcast last night, and then when I got to that, and I thought, 20 minutes of nothingness, and then you just thought, what's the point? Then are you going to learn anything anyway? I want to see the ANF podcast. Watch that today.
Yeah.
That was
Did they have anything really good on there? Because they're almost too technical for me, so I just don't watch them.
Well, they did it before the Kids' Day game, and they were kind of breaking down what the Iowa squad was like, but then they put a comment down there and below that heck sure was good on Kids' Day. Never seen anything like that in Iowa offense before and stuff like that. But they're just you can't help but listen to that podcast and learn 100 things. They ran replays about how good Montgomery was last year, the last 5 games. And Montgomery's Kirk's got to have him as a coach at Iowa. I mean, because Kirk's going to, if Tom Moore can coach till he's 87, Kirk can too. That was a joke.
Yeah.
But he just said how smart Montgomery knew what was the play that was going to be run almost before the snap a lot of times. He's going to really help Cam Buffington out a lot this year. He just broke down all the positives and showed Trevor Lauk last year playing. That was ridiculous that the Indiana guy, Carter Smith, was a Big Ten left tackle on the all Big Ten team. Lauk outplayed him so many ways for Sunday. It was ridiculous. But
Nick Slick says September 5th can't come soon enough. I agree with that comment.
Did you listen to the Chuck Hartley thing I sent you?
I did not have a chance because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I would, in a perfect world, while I'm door dashing, I could listen to podcasts all day long, except I won't get any offers to get any orders to deliver because my phone goes off the internet when I listen to podcasts.
Yeah, I didn't know if something that was like audio like that, whether you could listen to it while you were doing orders or not. But
anything that I got to do on my phone, anything that comes through my phone, I can't do.
But everybody
I can't even. But I mean, if it's on Spotify, I could possibly try it because that won't come from my phone. That'll come from my car radio.
Yeah, Chuck Hartley. You talk about an honest podcast. And he did it in 2017 or something. It was an old He said, talked all about all the coaches that was there. He described all of them, that some of them were wild and crazy, like the Stoops boys all coached at Iowa. Mark Stoops was his roommate at Iowa. And they asked him to describe each coach, what they were like, and Barry Alvarez was just this magnetic personality, that great storyteller, and he just was all powerful in a room. They said, what about Kirk Ferentz? And he said, just solid as a rock, always calm. So it didn't matter what was happening. Kirk kept his head and was there, just solid. And Hayden Fry, he said, none of us players believed a damn word Hayden said.
I get that.
Right. They caught him in so many lies, but they loved him because he was entertaining.
Yes.
And he said Bill Snyder was the secret there at Iowa. He said Bill Snyder never smiled, never laughed about nothing. And he was the guy there for the offense that made them work. And he thought that Kirk kind of got that Bill Snyder, that's what really works, is the Bill Snyder way, And he said that he was pissed off at Hayden. He said when it was him and McGuire and Tom Paholski, he said I outplayed Dan McGuire 20 ways for Sunday, but he was Mark McGuire's brother and number one quarterback recruit in the United States and all this shit. And Kirk was just bound that he was going to start Dan McGuire. Even into the Big Ten season, he picked McGuire to start Michigan State game, and Chuck was pissed, the team was pissed, and Bill Snyder was pissed.
Wait a minute. You meant Hayden picked him.
What did I say?
Kirk.
Oh, yeah, Hayden. Hayden picked him just because of that, that he was a big recruit and all this shit. And Chuck had outplayed him every practice, every game.
Well, I want to interrupt right here. This is a perfect
that game, McGuire led the team to 7 points or something in the game. They lost, and McGuire got nicked up a little bit. And so the next game they started Hartlieb and
I thought McCann.
McCann was when Kirk was coach.
Okay.
That was with Brad Banks, but they started Hartlieb, and then Hartlieb threw for 2,800 yards the last 7 games of the season or something, and was first team All Big Ten quarterback. And then Hayden didn't have no choice anymore.
Yeah. But Kirk said in one of his interviews that when he was comparing quarterbacks, he said when they started the season, in their mind, all the coaches agreed that Hartlieb was number 3 quarterback. He was never going to play. And I think it's his way of saying you just never know who's going to come out of the pile.
That's right. That's why I said earlier, hell, you never know. Might be by the first game of the season, the coaches might say, Jimmy Sullivan's right up there. Jimmy Sullivan, other than one pass on at Kids Day looked really good. He made one really bad pass. It was a miracle. It wasn't the only interception of the day. But.
Messenger, it's your turn.
that ain't gonna happen. But.
I know, but
here's my concern. If Helinski starts, because of Kirk's loyalty, he'll start the next 2 previous seasons. That blows 3 seasons for Bessinger, who probably in the long run might be the best quarterback on campus. But it's too early to say that. But that only gives Bessinger 2 years to quarterback. And by that time, we might have another quarterback or 2 on campus.
Yeah, you never know what the future holds. But if Bessinger is as good as what all the coaches are saying at this very early point, it'll be like like Cade McNamara at Michigan. Yeah, he leads them to a Big Ten championship, and then McCarthy's better. He's better prospect, So
right. But I want to give all the things that is. Yeah, all the things I want to say is I'll give Jim Harbaugh credit for having the guts to unseat an incumbent quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think Kirk would ever do that. He's never done that.
Yes, he has, but he unseated Buter and put McCann in.
McCann, yeah.
He unseated Christensen, who started like 2 years.
That was bad.
Put Stanzi in.
That was even better.
He unseated Rudock. I'm sure there might have been some other ones, but let you in on a secret. Coaches want to win, and they're going to play the best player. It's not always going to be the most talented player. Like Chuck Hartley said, I had the weakest arm of anybody. But he proved he was the best, and Hayden didn't switch back. And Quinn Schulte was not the most athletic kid in the world, but he started for 3 or 4 years and did a hell of a job. He was never out of position, very smart. And, none of the Stoops boys were the most talented guys, but they were the best we had,
Yeah. Coach Hack says Kirk doesn't have a choice anymore. Oh, I missed Boy. Boy talks about McGuire. Okay. McGuire kind of like a giraffe out there.
Yeah, but he ended up being a first-round draft pick from San Diego State. I think he was drafted like 15th by the Oakland Raiders or something. But
well, if he was drafted 15th by the Oakland Raiders, why didn't the heck he stick around longer then?
Because he wasn't accurate. Yeah. He could throw the ball 80 yards, but
yeah, maybe he only had that number 1 ranking of quarterback in the country because of who his brother was. Well, maybe he was never as talented and athletic as his brother.
If you remember, he was like 6'8". He was a big, like Boy said, he was a big guy, but and he had this unbelievable arm, and like Hayden said, he always proved it because he overthrew everybody but 10 yards. Some guy running 60-yard bomb and he throws it 70 yards. Well, that don't work. But.
Yeah. Well, since McGuire did play a year at Iowa, maybe 2. You think he would ever come back for an Iowa reunion?
I doubt it. So I don't think he was that popular on the team anyway. Chuck Hartley called him a pretty boy.
I don't remember him being, in quote, a pretty boy. I don't.
Well, he was a high. When you recruited that high, some people come in and they just think they're better. And Hayden.
Okay, I thought you meant pretty boy as in looks. Like
no.
Okay.
I don't know that he was bad looking, but Chuck Hartley was really good looking. He looked like Elvis or something. But
and remember, didn't Hartlib's brother take over for him when Hartlib exhausted his eligibility?
Jim Hartlib took over for Matt Rogers.
Okay.
We had the All Big Ten quarterback like 8 out of 10 years. That decade. Rogers was his last 2. Hartley was 2, and Chuck Long was 4 years.
Yeah.
First team All Big Ten quarterback. That's why I said when everybody ever brings up Nate Stanley, and I'm not anti Nate Stanley, great kid, great stats, pretty great stats. It's like, no, I'm not going to have him in my top 5 quarterback. Him in the top 5 of quarterbacks at Iowa, because he wasn't. He was never even a third team All Big Ten quarterback.
Okay. Boy says don't know Bessinger might be another Marco Linez? Question mark.
I don't think so. This Bessinger has the most talented arm probably ever. I'm trying to think. I don't want to say something stupid, but probably the most talented arm ever. They've had arms that were very powerful. Nate Stanley, boy, you talk about a guy
that kid was a big kid,
he could throw a baseball 95 miles an hour. A powerful arm, but no touch, for the most part.
Accurate. Yeah.
And I'm talking about Bessinger is like this, really throws the ball a long ways easy, but he throws different balls, touch, perfect spirals, it's like, that's what I'm talking about. Bessinger's like an NFL type, Joe Montana type guy back there if he ever learns his footwork in the playbook. He just unbelievable. And the thing
Wait a minute before you move on.
What?
Footwork. Learn his footwork. Is there anybody there willing to teach it now? Because Nate Stanley's comments is nobody took the time to teach him with his footwork.
I know that. Well, none of the coaches are there. We got 4 offensive coordinators coaching him, plus Tom Moore. Yeah, I think somebody there knows how to teach footwork. Okay. Tom Moore has already improved Hecklinski's footwork. The coaches have said that,
Hecklinski's just going to remind me of a smaller dude Tate if he starts, because he's just going to have to run out of the pocket and move the pocket to get his throws. He's just too short to see over the line.
If he plays like he did Saturday, he doesn't have to move out of the pocket at all, because he's got the ball out of there in a 1.5 seconds.
Yep,
it's like,
very
what
quickly.
The hell? I mean, what Iowa quarterback have we ever seen that did that? Maybe it was just
one day. I can't remember the last one.
Maybe it was just one day. Maybe I dreamt it. I don't know. I imagined it, but I think I saw it.
Yeah, because our quarterbacks always held onto the ball too long and ended up getting sacked a lot.
What about
Brad Banks?
You don't see Brad wasn't that quick,
right?
You just don't see a quarterback. You don't see a guy like Dan Marino very often. That's the way Dan was. He didn't hardly give up a sack because the ball was gone. Did
Dan Marino ever win a championship, a Super Bowl?
No.
Okay.
Ernie Banks never got in a playoff game, but Ernie Banks was still a great player. It ain't always about championships. I still think Caitlin Clark's pretty good. Never even won a state championship.
Her Dowling team never won a state title?
Got beat.
In the championship game?
I don't know.
Semifinal.
I don't know if
semifinal.
There's some powerful teams out in her area. I don't know if she might have got to the state tournament once or something. I don't know. Don't ask me, Dean.
That just means she didn't have anybody on the team like she had at Iowa that she could depend on.
But I think she's proven since she's got healthy that the Indiana Fever are better with her, than without her.
Yeah,
I think they'll re-sign her. They have to.
Yeah, they will. They will.
I mean,
they already said that they're picking up their option for her next year.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they want to sign. They'll sign her to a long-term contract. You just give her the ball as long as she's healthy. She wants to play 36 minutes a game.
Hey, we have some offensive players this year that proves it because they're averaging nearly 100 points a game. So they need to spend this next draft working on defenders, people who can just ball hawk. They need defenders because I'm so tired of them building leads of 20, 17 points and then having to fight for their life at the end of the game.
Then there's some of these players that are not going to be back. When Caitlin's going to make more money next year, and when they got to re-sign Caitlin, Sophie and Lexi are not going to be around.
You think Sophie and Lexi are leaving, huh?
Well, you can't pay them all $1 million. You can't pay them all $1 million. There's a salary cap. That's where a girl like Timpson, who's really coming on, who's just a second-year player, I think. You got to keep young.
Okay. I think
when you
somebody mentioned earlier, and we were way past that. Mentioned that they think Timpson coming on is the reason why Lexi Hall doesn't get a lot of playing time anymore. Yeah,
Lexi's just so on and off. She's a good defensive player, but
roller coaster up and down.
Yep. And then what's the deal with Grace Vandersloot? She never gets in the game.
I don't know. Who she play for?
The Fever.
Oh, is there another Vandersloot?
I think there is. I think there's two of them. I think there's sisters.
Every time I look at the stats on other teams, there's a Vandersloot that plays like
Courtney Vandersloot was at Minnesota guard. Yeah. That other Vandersloot, she played at Minnesota, and I think she might be on the Lynx, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, see, if we had Rick on, he'd know all this. WNBA, he really studies that.
He knows that.
Kelsey Plum got traded to Phoenix?
Yep.
Is Phoenix even in the running for the playoffs?
I knew Kelsey got traded from the Sparks, but I thought she went to like the Connecticut Sun or something. But maybe it's Phoenix. I don't know.
Phoenix Mercury.
It says Phoenix here, according to Bullboy. But I mean, is Phoenix even in the running? Why would Kelsey Plum agree to a trade to a team that's not going anywhere?
Probably to
help out next year.
I realize the Sparks aren't going anywhere either.
I don't know.
Valkyries.
Kate Martin actually got to play last night or the night before. Played like 12 minutes, didn't score, but
Hack's laughing at me because I guess that trade happened a while ago. It shows you I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, the trade deadline was like not quite a month ago. But.
Yeah. Plum didn't have a choice, according to Hack. I thought they always did. I thought those high-dollar, high-price superstars always had the choice.
To a point, depending on what your contract says.
Okay.
I would have thought that she would have had a no-trade clause as famous.
That's exactly what I said.
Is there any more expansion teams coming next season, or are we done with expansion for a while?
Oh yeah, there's Cleveland and Boston. Yep. Is it Boston?
Something like that. Yeah, coming on the East Coast or something like that.
Yeah, they're expanding. It's called the Caitlin effect.
Why don't we get one in Iowa?
Revenue.
We don't have an NBA team.
Oh.
You have to have an NBA team in order to get a WNBA team.
Isn't Connecticut is losing their WNBA team, aren't they? Aren't they moving to Cleveland or Boston or Detroit or something?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I heard something. I've heard something of interest I did not know. Yesterday or the day before, I saw that you probably saw it too. During the game, that they announced that the ESPN founder died, and he and his son were the founders of ESPN, and they bucked the system when they said 24-hour sports would never work. But if anybody remembers the early days of ESPN, I know that Kelvin probably does, and I know I do. There was a lot of reruns and a lot of Australian rules football. A lot of Australian rules football.
I literally never had any cable TV and never watched it until 2003. So I was way behind times.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reason they founded ESPN because they were big University of Connecticut fans, and
Yeah,
they bought a network just so they could put UConn games on. So
does that explain that ESPN's favoritism toward the UConn teams? I guess they're based in Connecticut too. I didn't realize that.
Now they're such a big SEC network now. It's like, oh my God.
That's because the Big Ten basically gave them the finger.
I don't know.
Well, pretty much because when you see, so for college football or college basketball, they're doing ACC on ESPN or the SEC on ESPN.
Or the Big 12.
Or sometimes the Big 12, yeah. Because
and the reason for that is in the last negotiation for TV contracts, the Big Ten said no to ESPN and went with the CBS, NBC, and Fox stuff.
What? I think that's smart.
Which it actually worked out pretty good. I mean, we get games on Peacock, which I know that Calvin doesn't like. He's not willing to. He's not willing to pay the $5.99 for the 3 months of football season.
I don't know. I don't know why I need Peacock when I drive 4 blocks over to Buffalo Wild Wings or down to the casino and watch it. But
okay.
Anyway, is this true that ESPN? You guys maybe Kyle might not be old enough, but Dean might have had it right from the beginning. Did they were they pretty much not much of anything until they started having Big East basketball on every Monday night?
Something like that. And then when did Monday Night Football come into play at ESPN?
Long. That was many years.
Right.
Yeah, they were on ABC starting in 1970.
Yeah. But ESPN didn't for the longest time did not have any live coverage on.
They had didn't they have a bunch of weird events on, like cow chip throwing and
stuff like that, and
stuff like that.
But I just remember watching hours of Australian rules football, trying to figure out what is all this, and then the referees come out and go.
And then my memory might be wrong, but nobody cared about Big East basketball. It was that pocket in the Northeast that we did. Mm-hmm. We watched Big Ten basketball, Big 8 basketball. We watched national games like Notre Dame and UCLA and stuff like that. And then they got this cheap contract to put all the Big East games on. Was it Monday nights that they were on, Dean? It was one night a week where it was a national game where nobody else was playing. I don't know if it was Monday night, Tuesday night, or what it was.
At one point, it was called Big Monday, but I don't know if that was early or later because they also, during Lute Olson's years, did I think it was after Lute Olson.
Yeah, because
they did Big Monday. They had Big 12, Big East, and Big 10.
And Johnny Orr was the coach at Iowa State, and I'd listen because I was a sports nut back then. I'd listen to the radio, listen to the Johnny Orr show, and he'd come on and he'd go, "That is really something. Us Big 8, we should have been on Monday nights." Georgetown's playing St. John's. It was like the second year of the contract, and it was like Johnny was recognizing that this was the biggest thing going. That the Big East was going to be huge, and they ended up with 1 year had 3 teams in the Final Four.
There was Johnny Orr. I remember him and his cronies. I don't know if they were ex-coaches or just friends, but they would meet in Des Moines at a restaurant in the Albertsons parking lot, which Albertsons no longer exists in Iowa. But in the parking lot, there was a fast food restaurant. I can't remember the name. It could have been Wendy's. It could have been Burger King. It wasn't McDonald's because McDonald's was down the road. But anyway, they would be there for coffee, and I would go in. I'd take my lunch hour at that time because I was working like 5 to 2, and so I'd take my lunch hour around 10. And I could just hear their stories that they were talking about, and it was so funny. And, I didn't have the guts to go up and talk to Johnny, but I wanted to. Anyway, Boy has a comment that says, that could open the door for Caitlin Crypto Arena. Could have been more exposure for CCLA. God, I would go to every game if she ended up being a Sparks. Also wanted to tell you guys something else
You
that I discovered.
You better DoorDash the rest of the hours of the week.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna cost you some money. But.
Yeah, probably. But what was I gonna say? Oh, I'm pretty sure I came to realize that I think I coached against Caitlin Clark's soccer team when she was 10 years old.
Oh.
You know, it took me a while to realize this, but I coached. No. We were in a league, and the 10-year-old league, under 10, but it was an all boys league. Okay, except there were two teams, Waukee and West Des Moines, had a dark-haired girl on the team. And I remember it might have been the West Des Moines team that went nuts on us for scoring, but fortunately we outscored them and won them like 11-10 or something like that. Wow. And I remember thinking, this girl, we can't stop her. You know, and she's playing up against a bunch of boys, and no boy can stop her.
What town is she from? She wasn't from Des Moines. She just went to Dowling. Was she from Waukee or?
No, she lives in West Des Moines. Her family house is in West Des Moines.
Yep,
I've been by it. I've seen it.
She grew up with. She played on the same. She did not grow up in Des Moines, but she went to Dowling. She went in the same town that Peyton Sandifort's from. They played together in
Waukee.
They played together.
Like I said, it was either Waukee. It was either Waukee or West Des Moines because both of them had a girl on that team. But but it's possible. Her house is in West Des Moines though. It's listed as West Des Moines, but no. I think she was living there even then, but I think it's in part of West Des Moines that gets confused with Waukee. Because I know this because my daughter lived in the same area and my cousin lived in the same area. It depends. Are you in Waukee or West Des Moines? It depends on which way you turn in your house.
Man, I tell you what, it is confusing up there depending on where you're at in West Des Moines. I got confused always going up there going, where the hell are we?
I do not like drive. I didn't mind driving around Des Moines 30 years ago, 40 years ago. But now it's just like, oh my God.
So big, yeah.
I have no problems. It's fun driving to the state fairgrounds. That's very easy. But if you got to go past, and then all these interstates are going this way.
Everything west of downtown is all messed up now.
You just gotta pay attention and know your exits.
Her family was always tied to Dowling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because of their religion. Her mother's father coached Bobby Hansen in Dowling football.
Yes.
And a very famous football coach, I guess. But she when she was real little, she wasn't growing up in Des Moines. She was in, Waukee. I guess, Waukee, probably.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's probably true. Anyhow,
so you think you coached against her?
What?
You think
the reason why I think is because this is a 10-year-old league. That's about the time she was playing soccer. My grandson is the exact same age. There's actually about 3 weeks between their birthdays. And I just remember that a particular girl, because I was rethinking this, going back over my soccer, and I remember
black-haired girl,
dark-haired girl, who just went off on us in the middle of a game and just started scoring. And I kept telling my players, "She's a girl, and you guys are letting her beat you."
And you were from Waterloo or Cedar Rapids. Where were you from?
Oh,
where was your team from?
My team was we were northeast Des Moines team.
Oh, I didn't know you were out that way. But anyway, I heard Caitlin talking the other day. And I wasn't actually she was talking about you because she said this opposing coach when I was like 10 years old just had his players beat the hell out of me, and she said that's when it all started. I'm making this up, Dean, but
I know that.
you always drafted the biggest players you could get, and you just beat the hell out of Caitlin, didn't you?
I didn't have a choice in the players I got. They were given to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That just made my night.
No. You guys,
nobody gets beat up. Nobody gets beat up, but like her. I'm glad that they're making the officials change it a little bit, but still, she's not treated the same as the other players.
No,
it's like
this I will say about that.
I agree.
I did notice a change in the officiating toward her, though. It seems to be getting better against her, and also it seems like the players are now laying off of her a little bit more.
The players,
not all of them, because Angel Reese was seen on film choking her twice.
Well,
can't stand her.
But it's a different brand of basketball now. It's like the first 2 years Caitlin was in the league, and I'm not talking about Caitlin taking the ball to the hoop. But it was so hard to take the ball to the hoop. Mm-hmm. Now, it's so hard to stop somebody that decides they're going to the hoop because they do not let, and I'm not talking about Caitlin, I'm talking about the whole game is different. Now players are laying off because they know they're going to foul out.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, but I would say this, it's nice to see. I don't remember Caitlin going to the hoop as much as she goes this year to the team in the past. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just don't remember her career that well. Boy has another comment. It says, "That's amazing. Small world. Now they advertise West Des Moines."
Oh, they advertise West Des Moines all the time. Even on the if you guys have Marquee, which is the Cubs baseball network, they do that a lot. Even on the radio during Cubs games, they say, "Hey, come to Des Moines," because that's where the Iowa Cubs are at. So they advertise it like no other.
I would like to know the Quad Cities down here. We got 400,000 people, they say.
I thought you had 1 million in Quad Cities.
Oh no, 400,000, which is probably, if all of it was in Iowa, it'd probably be it would be the second biggest metroplex
after Des Moines.
Yeah, but I wonder what Des Moines is. If you took in all them Ankeny and Urbandale, and is it Urbandale? I don't know.
Urbandale, yeah.
Is Grimes part of it?
Yes.
Clive.
Would it be like close to 2 million now, or 1 point something million?
Oh, easily, or
What's
more.
the population of the Des Moines metro area?
This is
758,539.
That's not true. It's more than that.
It's way more than that.
It's way bigger than the Quad Cities. The thing is, about the Quad Cities, there's so many people. Like in Rock Island, I was joking the other day. It was a funny joke. I said, I've never been to a place where there's so many churches as there is in Rock Island.
Oh, for sure.
I said, I think there's more churches than there is cars. And I think there's so many churches because everybody has to go to church to pray and wish they had a car. Everybody drives these metro buses and stuff around. People walk.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
Oh my God. It's like they got to have that many churches so the people can go and pray that they had a car.
I always thought going in from like Moline to Rock Island, and I'm like, wait, am I in Rock Island or I'm in Moline? I got confused.
It's unknown. It's pretty much that. I think Interstate 74 kind of dissects.
A little bit, yeah.
Wait a minute. I thought Rock Island was all on an island in the middle of the Mississippi.
No.
It's not?
No. No, there is an island. There is an island that had the arsenal in the river there that had the all the Civil War prisoners from the South. They'd boat them up the Mississippi and put them on this island in Rock Island. and then that turned into the Arsenal, I think.
Arsenal, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
My uncle is buried there along with some cousins.
I tell you what, the Arsenal's awesome and pretty decent.
I've been there. I've been there.
I didn't think I'd like Rock Island when I got sick and I got a divorce and moved over here. And I love this place. You talk about a lot of beautiful people. Yeah. You know, a lot of people ain't got a lot of money. A lot of people ain't got a lot of money.
Yeah. That's true.
Up here,
there's a restaurant in Moline that my mom always took us to. Every time we got to Moline, before we go visit relatives, we'd have to go to this restaurant, and I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, there was that famous one right under the bridge.
Oh, crap.
That's closed now, but
yeah.
What about I think they sold some candy and stuff in there. Some
Lagomicinos.
That's it. I recognize the name as soon as you said it.
Lagomicinos.
Oh, that's not the one I was talking about, but okay.
Yeah, that's the one we'd always go to. We'd hit that first in town, and then one day we hit that first in town, and then we went and did all of our other stuff, and then we all ended up at it again with all the relatives this time.
There's a famous steakhouse. Was it called Brady's or something?
Oh,
up on 61.
Mo Brady's, yeah.
Mo Brady's.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's still there in Brady. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, but yeah, all my mom's sisters' kids still live in the Moline, Rock Island, Bettendorf, East Moline.
Yeah. Of course, the best steak place. There's a bunch of fancy steak places in the Quad Cities, but the best steak and just if you wanted a good steak, was a place called Tapas. Little hole in the wall.
Tappa Steakhouse. Oh,
yeah,
so good.
It went closed with all the inflation.
It sucks. Oh,
I got to tell you guys.
So
I got to tell you. I think the hole in the wall places are the best places to get food.
They are.
But you might get sick if they're not clean.
Who gives a shit? It's still good.
You will. Okay. You will after you eat the bad food.
Well, yeah.
Repetitively overnight, probably.
Right. But still.
But we aren't going to mention that.
Nope.
So,
not.
Wait a minute. Here we go. Boy has another comment.
Good.
Thank God for Boy. He's the only one consistently tonight.
Where
yes, I think the WNBA have tightened up of officiating in the best interest of all.
Yeah, it's kind of a hit and miss too.
And they talk about Caitlin complaining about calls, but all of them complain about calls.
Bingo.
That Angel Wilson, she gets every damn call, but when she doesn't, it's like Paige
hell's gonna break loose.
But I am proud, I gotta say, used to not like her very much, but Angel Reese has grown up quite a bit with her comments.
Except that game the other night when she was caught choking Caitlin a couple times.
Well, I didn't see that, but I mean in her comments, like they ask her at the end of the first half in that Caitlin game, they go, "What do you think about the game or whatever?" And she goes, "I played like shit."
Although she got a double-double. She got a double-double in that game.
Well, she did, but a double-double don't mean nothing. It's something, but I mean, it don't mean that much if you're going to score 12 points and get 14 rebounds.
Yeah, but, when you stand underneath the basket to get all those buckets and offensive rebounds.
I liked it that she's growing up a little bit.
Yeah.
She isn't on there. I'm the greatest. I'm the reason everybody watches. And she just says, I played like shit, and I got to be better than that and stuff.
Well, at the end of the game, she had a pump. She pulled on a rebound and had a point blank lay-in that she completely missed. I think she probably got excited at the fact that she's thinking, "Oh God, that's wide open," and then she missed it.
Yeah,
that could have been the difference in the game.
Then that Murphy guy that posts shit every day, you know who I'm talking about, right?
I think so.
Murphy's Law guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Keith Murphy, yeah.
He's got a cute little blonde wife and stuff.
Out of Des Moines, yeah.
Yeah, him and Chris or somebody does a podcast together. Anyway, he put up a meme thing, and it showed after Angel missed that shot, it showed Caitlin with the smile in the background.
Yeah, I did see that.
You know, and he said, look what Caitlin did to Angel. And I had to explain underneath, I said, that's not the truth. I said, if you watch the videotape right before that, they show Angel's, I don't know if she was a point guard or something on Angel's team. She's a white player, but anyway, she's walking up right behind Angel like that, and she just fucking laughing. Angel and the gal that Caitlin's looking at, if you look at the angle of her eyes, she's looking at that teammate who's laughing, and it made her laugh. You know, she wasn't looking at Angel.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but it'll be all over the internet. You know.
Yeah. By the way,
making fun of Angel.
By the way, Keith Murphy does not do a podcast with Chris Hassel. Chris Hassel does one with Chris Williams and
yeah.
Who does Murphy do one with?
Sometimes with his wife.
No.
Murphy says, "Oh my gosh, why do I forget his name? It's on the tip of my tongue." Help me out, audience. Help me out, audience.
It's every weekday.
Yeah, it's every.
Yeah, that other guy. Yeah. But then sometimes he does it with his wife too. He's got a
podcast with his wife that's totally separate.
It's so funny.
That's more in the evening and stuff.
Yeah, it's so funny.
She's funny in hell. She makes
that's what makes it good.
And then the Rush Network added 2 new shows. One with Trent Condon. I presume that's going okay. But the other show that was supposed to be done during the evening hours. They're no longer on the air because they're getting sued by the iHeart.
Of course.
I'm going to guess for assume of probably because they were doing something that they had signed a NDA on or something, or I don't know.
Okay. That podcast I shared tonight with Elliot Clough and his coworker on football recruiting in Iowa for the 2028 class and 2029.
I just started listening to that. I didn't get through it.
That was freaking awesome. They do such a great job analyzing. Some people talk about recruiting, but they don't know how to analyze watching a player.
Right.
You know, Clough, he'll go watch him play. He's like Tyler Barnes. He'll go watch him play basketball too. See how athletic they're. Did you know he's from Cooper DeJean's little town?
He is? I did not know that.
Yeah, that was weird.
He's so young. Did they go to school together?
No, he's older.
He's older, yeah.
Clough, he looks so young.
Well, he does. Everybody looks young. Hell, to me, Kyle Reimers there looks like he's 18. But I'm old. You know, when you get old, they all look young. You know.
I'll be 40 next year.
Oh, you're such a baby.
No, I don't feel like
my job. All my kids are older than you.
Yeah. So I have a question. What is on tap for Sunday? What are we gonna start discussing? Because that season's right around the corner.
Yeah.
We're gonna start breaking down some of these teams that we're gonna play.
Okay.
Oh, I already did that.
Yeah.
You can do that.
All right.
Perfect. We'll do that on Sunday. We'll start breaking down the teams.
You said you had the October records broken down.
So what I did was I went through every team that we played this year. I kind of dug into a little bit of like history, you know, all-time meetings at home, all-time meetings away, you know, and kind of just going, all right, what could this team do, you know, in the month of September? What would, you know, and then that's how I combined all the records was, okay, what if they do in September? What if they do in October? What if they do in November? You know, and kind of just broke it down going, all right, I think they can win this game. Okay, I think they probably can't win this game, you know.
And I'm sure we'll talk about Caitlin will have 3. Do you know that she's got 3 games before we go on Sunday?
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be
that's a lot of games.
They play Saturday and Sunday back to back.
Yeah, back to back.
Don't they play tomorrow?
They're gonna be at home then, right? They're at home for those 2 games.
So
a lot of times when they're back to back, one's a home game and then they have to go.
So Caitlin plays tomorrow night. against the Wings and in Dallas. Then Friday they're off. So Saturday they're at the Liberty. This is all in this road trip.
Oh my gosh, the Liberty! I don't like that.
And then from the Liberty they go to the Sky. So
that is a lot of traveling. How does a team keep themselves sharp traveling like that?
You know, it's kind of like with baseball. You know, baseball is 162 games, but not including the playoffs, and you gotta just the next day.
Yeah, but they're playing mostly 3-game series, so you're not traveling back to back, and then usually in between 3-game series you have a day off and a travel day.
Right, but my thing is you might as well just like forget the next game and move on to the, once you get done with one, you move on to the next one.
I wonder if AZ Fudd's ever going to play again.
She's out the rest of the year.
Oh, well, that'll make it easier.
Bingo.
Hate to see anybody injured. I really do.
Right.
She seems like a nice young lady. And boy, can she shoot the hell out of the ball. But
did you notice that both her and Paige got rid of their braids and went more of a straight ponytail in their hair?
I got rid of my braids.
Yeah. No, my wife and I were watching Paige and we almost didn't recognize her.
She likes that when Paige crosses over someone, then she dribbles into the lane and then kind of a little step back. Man, she is money every single time.
Well, last time I saw her against the Fever, she couldn't miss. I think she ended up with more points than Caitlin for that game.
There's a good WNBA game tonight, but I can't remember what it is. I don't think it started till about now. I don't think it's on my TV or anything.
Hold on, let me look. Nope.
The early game was the Mystics, and I think that Toronto team maybe that we played last night.
Oh, the Tempo.
The Tempo.
But there's there's a good later game after that one. But.
Minnesota and
the Tempo and
Golden State Valkyries,
and then Wings and Valkyries.
That's the two best teams in the WNBA.
Could you believe that? They're an expansion team, the Golden State Valkyries, and in one season
they do something called play defense,
Yeah. And
there's no big, Asia Wilson's different than everybody else, and Brianna's different than everybody else. They're 6'5" guards, kind of. They can't guards, but they can play out there and hit threes. But they can say what they want, but most of the other girls in the WNBA, there's no big athletic ability difference in them. This Timpson girl can jump a little bit, and Hannah Stolke could jump a little bit, but most of these girls are not.
Right.
So I think that evens up. If you know how to play basketball, you know how to play defense, you can compete.
I'm hoping that when Hannah Stokey's overseas, that she works with somebody to help her develop that outside shot that she's never developed, and so that she can come back to the WNBA and play for somebody. Like Megan Gustafson played overseas for years, and now she's a fixture in the WNBA.
It's like Aaliyah Boston could never hit a three-pointer for her life till this year.
Yeah, she must have spent the offseason working on it. Maybe Caitlin and her were in the gym every day working on it, and Caitlin was showing her out.
I doubt that.
Here's that.
Why is that?
I think Caitlin's pretty busy with her charitable things and her business. I'm sure she works out every day.
Right.
But I doubt that she was hanging with Aaliyah or some teammate, because that girl is like a corporate entity of her own now. And
yeah, she said that at one point when she was in college, her dad managed all of her affairs, but I don't know if he's still managing it, if she actually got a real agent to manage her affairs.
I know she has a corporate head up above for licensing and stuff like that, but I don't know. I know one thing. I can't wait for her shoe to come out soon.
Yep.
I thought it already had.
Well, she's got other shoes that come out all the time, but signature big shoe. I want to know how many billions or millions Nike makes off of her. I always thought that she was underpaid, at $8 million a year or whatever it is.
Man, those John Deere shoes, man, I gotta get a pair of them things.
She's got a pair of John Deere shoes?
They're like some green color, and then there's a yellow one. Then there's I thought she had a red pair or yellow or blue pair or something.
She has multitudes of color, but I want this big opening shoe that's coming out. I want to see how much it sells, so a lot of these people that say she ain't a big deal can eat some crow.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of shoes, you were bidding on Hannah Stolke's shoes. How did that go?
Well, that ain't over till Monday or Tuesday.
But are you still bidding on it, or did you give up?
I bid up, and then I'm just going to wait till the end. I asked Mrs. Stolke that if what was that term you told me to use? Make an offer they can't
make an
refuse.
offer.
Yeah.
What'd you call it though?
Oh, buy now.
Oh, a buy now bid? I don't think that's the term you use, but I said, well, what about I used the term you were teaching me, because I never bought anything on eBay. And you said, I do a so-and-so offer or something. And so I used the same terminology you did, and I emailed her and I messaged her on eBay, and I said, what about, would you take this much? Blah, blah, blah. I asked her, what is your amount that for one of these terms like that? And she says, I don't know. What are you thinking? And then I put one in, and then she thought about it a little bit, and then she goes, I'm going to wait. Like, it's above that now, but like $95 or something.
I was bidding on a sweatshirt, but it's up to, it was, last I looked, it was up to $76. I quit bidding on it a while ago.
Insane.
It was like $14 when I first bid on it.
All right.
Well, it's okay. And none of this stuff is signed or anything.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She said if you sign it, it'd probably be double the value or something, which I don't know if it really would or not. I don't care, but
I think the ones that she's selling were the ones that she wore that she got from Hannah's first or second year at Iowa.
She's got so much stuff. She took a lot of it with her, but yeah, you end up, Caitlin keeps giving you stuff and the university keeps giving you shit. I think what's the practice jersey and shorts the highest priced one, Dean? Or
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it was pretty expensive.
I
didn't even start to bid on that, but
you gotta get up. You gotta get up in 5 minutes.
Lately, so it's
get 5 minutes of sleep.
Something. Yeah. This has been kind of the last couple of nights. I haven't gotten very much sleep, so I'm gonna get out of here and I am gonna go shower. So I can
figure on doing your report on Sunday night, and I'm sure some news will break like always. Me and Dean here, and we'll talk about that. Sweet. Hopefully, we'll have more comments. Maybe Jason. Where's Jason at?
He's not on right now.
That's all right. But
maybe we can get him to come on Sunday.
He probably won't come on because he's got clothes on.
That was so funny.
That was classic. That was classic.
I laughed so hard. It was so funny. But
it didn't really seem
I will see you on Sunday.
Big deal. I'm going to strip right now.
All righty. I think this is a good place for all of us to walk off the show and leave it. We're going down memory lane there anyway, so we got way off a Hawkeye topic.
Hey, we got it. Hey, the thing is, we got it all covered, so that was good.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, we did.
It's just so interesting. Who's gonna? What the teams? Who's gonna end up starting at quarterback? And
time will tell.
2 weeks from this Saturday. Also, I think that's when my grandson starts his soccer games.
Yeah, on Sunday, I thought for sure Heck would be the starter. I still think he probably would be. He's always been my favorite, but I didn't ever want to tell people that. And I tried to keep my bias out of my opinion because that's not a good podcast in my part. Every
That's why I said,
every other podcast, Dean, don't they always let their bias come in all the time?
Yes, they
Dean?
do, especially Chad Lysico. And Dr. Min. I never thought I'd see the day when Dr. Min called that race over.
He's become, since he's just the last 3 years since he got that big job with the New York Times, it's like he's become so hyperbolic. Like, and then you can't disagree with him. He gets mad. You know, it's like the race is over.
Yeah. Oh, a friend of mine, you probably know who it is, but we won't say his name out loud, disagreed with Dr. Min on something on one of his podcasts, and Dr. Min blocked him.
Why do you be petty about it? Just whatever.
Wouldn't block somebody unless they get racist
or defensive about something. Yeah.
If they're saying anything hateful about some woman that's playing in the WNBA or something, I don't like that. But I don't block anybody. But boy, Dean knows I'm sure pretty sharp tongue. I can get back at him on here. You know. Also, make them cry.
To say, Jerry and Keith will be starting up their next season of the podcast this Sunday night, recording it. I think they release it on Monday.
Punting?
Remember Jerry and Keith? Yeah, Punting is Winning podcast.
I just know them as the Punting is Winning brothers.
It's like
that's an interesting one to listen to. They're funnier and all get out.
Who?
Those guys you're talking about. They're
yeah.
I watch every show and I try not to.
Oh, it's so funny.
I get my stuff out on here. You know, so the only time I appear with Zach Heine once in a while just to help him out. You know, if he's got to carry the whole show, I'll jump on. But I don't need to jump on. You know,
guys, I want to once the football season kick off. I would love to get some opposing people on that know what the teams are about, like the color guys from each team. Would be perfect that we could bring on our preview show.
Did we have one last year, or that Minnesota guy, or
Penn State? We had the Penn State guy.
That was interesting.
Penn State fan for Albany. Was he for?
Yeah,
Albany?
We had Albany. He was on for Albany, and then we brought him back on to talk about Penn State.
Man, he was interesting to get his perspective on it.
But we also had the Minnesota guy on too.
Yep, he was very interesting to hear his perspective as well.
Yeah.
I like hearing that.
Yeah. Well, he sure thought they were going to kick Iowa's rear end, though.
What happened?
Who did?
The Minnesota guy.
Yeah, he was trying to run his mouth in. I think we were all like spitting facts about it.
Here, you just want to be nice to him. You appreciate him on.
I still have his contact information. I thought he was a good guy to have on. I want to get him back.
Well, yeah, I wasn't criticized, but he thought, boy, Minnesota's going to be great, you know, which Minnesota is a good program.
Mm-hmm.
Did we play Minnesota early in the year last year or later in the year?
Earlier?
Yeah,
it was earlier, just like this year is too.
Minnesota's a lot like Iowa. They're consistently winning programs. I don't know the last time they had a losing season.
A couple years ago, I think.
Did they? Okay.
I think they went 5-7, but they got to go to a bowl. So and he's won 9 bowls in a row, not all at Minnesota. So he ended up at 6-7.
Yeah.
You mean he hasn't been at Minnesota 9 years?
No.
I did not know that. I thought he'd been there forever.
Anyway, he's won 9 bowls in a row.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Okay. That's okay. After Kirk Ferentz, who's the next coach in line to be tenure longer?
I don't know. Ryan Day and him. Anybody else? Kyle had to go to bed.
Yeah. Do we count?
You can't count
Fitzgerald?
No, you can't count Fitzgerald, and you can't count the Rutgers coach. Has been at Rutgers a long time, but he took like 12 years off. You know.
Yeah, so we can't count them because they. Okay.
No, Fitzgerald ain't even at the same school.
Yeah. I think everybody else has got it. It seems like it's got to be PJ. I mean, I can't think of another coach that's been at their school that long.
You got to understand that it's kind of rare for a coach to be at a school more than 10 years, you know. Not at Iowa, it ain't. Not anymore, but anyway, but yeah, some people are afraid of going to the games at Minnesota, and they got a veteran team with a veteran quarterback, but I'm not scared of them. Last year, what team, of course you're going to get this now, what team averaged the fewest yards per game rushing in the Big Ten last year?
Iowa?
Good God, Iowa averaged a lot of yards rushing last year.
I don't know. Minnesota?
Minnesota, 103 yards a game. And Fleck loves to run the ball. You know, that's how bad they were last year. I know they had a winning record, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, I'm not afraid of Minnesota. Yeah, and do not ever say they're a lot like Iowa, because no, they're not. They don't. They once in a while they'll win 9 games or something, but Kirk averages 9.2 wins a season for the last 11 years. People don't realize that but I exist, so now people know that. You know. Oh my God! It's like.
Oh my gosh! I had something on my brain I was going to ask you.
Kirk is a goat.
Something about since 2020. Let me think about this. What teams have had the most arrests since 2020?
You mean in college football or the Big Ten?
College football overall. I'll give you a hint. Only one Big Ten school made the list.
I was almost said Michigan, but are you coaching? Are you counting the coaching staff? That's because Michigan
players, coaching staff, everything.
Oh, it's coaching staff too?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I never hear a lot about Michigan players getting arrested. Maybe Nebraska. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so finishing 5th place out of 10 was Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Every other team, except for one, is from the SEC. Miami's number 1 on the list with 500 and some arrests.
Georgia's bad.
Georgia's on the list. Mm-hmm. Georgia, Alabama, Auburn, Texas.
Mm-hmm. I'm
trying to remember. Oh no, not Texas. Florida State, right? Which one? Wait a minute. Which one's SEC? Florida or Florida State?
Florida.
Okay.
Florida's had a big problem.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Florida was number 2 on the list. Mm-hmm. But yeah, all except for Miami and Ohio State, they were all SEC teams. And the guy's comment at the end of it goes, SEC has a problem. They need to clean some things up.
By the way, Caitlin's that game that they played Angel Reese has peaked at 4 million viewers.
Yep, and that's the highest that ESPN has had all year.
That's right. And now the top 10 viewed games this year in the WNBA are
all include the Fever.
Caitlin Clark games, and some of them were on lesser networks. You know, that's how huge Caitlin is.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. Last year, when she spent most of the year injured, viewership and ticket sales had dropped off quite a bit, and now they're rebounding this year, especially since she took those couple of weeks off the game, and now she's playing, and she's playing at a high level right now.
Well, it's ridiculous, the Caitlin effect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people are viewing. It's like I was telling my wife last night when we were watching the game, and I said, last year when she was hurt because she wasn't playing, I didn't bother to watch any of the games.
Yeah. A finance guy says that no athlete in the history of team sport has had as much effect on a league as Caitlin Clark has.
Wow.
You know, Babe Ruth had a big effect, but baseball was a national pastime when Babe Ruth came along. You know, Michael Jordan had a great effect, but he didn't bring the NBA from a nothing to a something that people are interested in.
No, before Michael Jordan came along, there was already many superstars who helped raise that league.
And before Michael Jordan came along, Magic Johnson was making $1 million a year.
He screwed himself. He thought he made a good deal, and he screwed himself. And Kareem told him that. Kareem says, "You screwed yourself."
Yeah, but he's a billionaire now, so it don't matter.
He's a great businessman. He made some money.
Yeah. Michael Jordan told him to take stock in your shoe deal. Don't take money, and he made a lot of money that way. But what was I going to say? Caitlin Clark, the top salary in the NBA when she entered the NBA was $78,000 a year, which I know school superintendents in Iowa that make way more than that.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And now the top salary is $1.4 million. That's
how much is Caitlin making this year?
That is 200 times, isn't it?
Yeah.
And well, Caitlin's making 500 and some thousand. Next year she'll make 780,000 or something.
She doesn't even need that money. She doesn't even need it. She's a millionaire without it.
And you know that salary is going to keep spiking up. You would think every girl in the WNBA, they don't need to kiss her feet, but they ought to walk up and say, "Thanks, Caitlin."
But they're jealous. They're jealous because of the money she's making and the popularity she's got.
I understand competitiveness, but you should also recognize somebody that's giving you something. You know?
Oh yeah. I mean, in all honesty, she did raise the league to another level. There weren't a lot of eyes on it before that. I mean, I know I didn't watch much of it before. Just a game here and there that I happened to run across and I was bored.
I watched the WNBA when they started up in 97, whatever year it was.
So did you watch Molly Tybeck play for the Detroit?
I don't remember. I don't remember Molly being on TV, but I loved Lisa Leslie, you know, and Witherspoon and Cheryl Sloops. Cheryl Sloops was a great player. She had become pregnant, and that kind of slowed her down. But I just loved my favorite player all time over Caitlin and everybody was always loved watching the NCAA tournament championship game when Cheryl Miller would play. I never seen anybody. I wish she would have got a chance. You know, she tore her knee up, and I'd like to see her coach. You know, come back and coach or something. Maybe she thinks she's too old or something. But.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, it's still on.
This might be a good place to say good night. Adios. We have.
Were you going to run your commercial?
I never did run it, huh?
I
better run that. I better run that puppy.
I never got to do this, Dean. You know, Vander Zee's old number, Steve Carfino's number, 15.
Yeah. Wait a minute, wrong one. Let's go back to it. Oh yeah, here we go. This is the commercial that I should have ran earlier tonight and got carried away and didn't do it. All righty. Go to cocainecoffee.com and put in your code Villains15 for your 15% off. Happy birthday, Cyhawk. See money.
Did you ever get any of this coffee, Dean?
No, not yet. They're out of what I wanted. But when they get it back in, I'll order it and have my wife drink it.
You got a comment?
Yes, Cyhawk C Money. We know who he is now. We know his real name.
Corey.
I hopped on late, guys. I was out to dinner for my birthday. Go Hawks.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday.
He's
we'll forgive you then. But you know what? You got to go back and watch 2 full hours of this show. We've had some fun tonight.
I missed Corey. Oh, darn it. But anyway, he's 54 or 55, I think. So.
Yeah, I don't remember what he said.
He said how old he was last time he was on. I think it was 10 years younger than me.
Yeah.
So.
He said, "Thank you, gentlemen."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyway, because Corey couldn't hear himself the other night. T-Hink couldn't hear anything going on. I have no idea what was going on the other night.
Yeah,
why everybody ended up getting muted, except for me. I heard everybody.
Yeah, I was trying to tell some news, and he'd talk over top of me, and I thought, okay, something's going on. Yeah, that's what he said.
Man. He goes, I'm probably talking over people.
So anyway.
Yeah. I mean, let's call it a night.
It's a night.
2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. I mean, the other night, one night we went almost 3 hours. That has to be a record for us.
We had almost 400 views, so that was pretty good.
Yeah. Right now we're at 48 viewers right now, live.
And when we turned the thing off that night, then I go share it. It said 73 that night.
Mm-hmm.
So many seen it, but are you ready to go?
Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I got to do something real quick before I can leave.
Mm-hmm.
I should try to put our highlights up as we used to.
Mm-hmm.
On
Sunday, remember, we're putting up our For the Win 5 Amigo Talking Hawkeye Sports poll.
Okay. So people can actually see it? Because I gave him all the information on it tonight.
I did a lot of work doing that math, darn it.
All righty.
I never can get it up. I want Jason to just see it,
I just realized why I was missing so much stuff tonight. It's because I had to send it in 2 separate emails. I forgot to open the second email.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But anyway.
All righty. Good night, everybody. See you guys on Sunday night. Try to stay cool, stay dry, and whatever else.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.